Hello, everyone. Honestly, we have a really major issue on our hands. The Nigerian government has restricted all flights from Nigeria to Nigeria or from Nigeria from passing through their airspace. So there's this circular that is out here. It says restriction of flights to and from Nigeria. The airspace of Republic of Niger is open to all national and international commercial flights from ground to unlimited except Nigerian flights to or from Nigeria. These restrictions don't affect commercial flights that fly over Nigerian airspace without landing there. So even if you're going to pass above Nigeria, but as long as you are flying above Nigeria and going on, you're not landing on Nigeria, they don't have a problem from that. You can fly across. If you are flying from another country and then you have to pass Nigeria and pass through Niger, they don't have a problem with that, as long as that flight does not land in Nigeria or did not originate from Nigeria. That's where they have a problem with. It can fly over Nigeria through their airspace, but it must not land in Nigeria. Think of actual being vindictive. But hey, can you blame them? Tinubu went ahead and cut off electricity to them, an agreement that had been there for decades upon decades. I'll talk about that later. But in the meantime, let's read this circular that is out there. It said, however, it is recalled that ADSB and or radar transponders must remain on for any flight taking place in the Niger Republic airspace. So you can't come, I think you can't come there and then put it off and then go and land in Nigeria. I'm assuming, I really don't know that. Don't take my words for it. On the other hand, the Niger Republic airspace still remains closed for any military, operational, and other special flights. So what they're saying that these are commercial flights, right? But anything that is military flight, whatever country you're going to, coming from whatever, you can fly through over the Nigerian airspace. These military or special flights are only permitted subject to prior authorization from the competent authorities. This circular, which only concerns Niger and Nigeria, does not repeal no term in force. But I don't know what that means. It will that would need people who have those knowledge in this area to be able to let them to actually know what those things are. So wow, I'm just trying to get my mind through all of this. This is a whole lot of drama that we just sat here and all of these things just started and they're just going all over the place. So if you don't get it, most times when you're flying over Nigeria, if you're one of those that always try to check the flight progress, there's that on the screen, you can follow it and see if you're counting the number of countries you are passing. We usually pass through Niger to come in. And if you look at this map, a bit of some map of Africa, not all of it, you see Nigeria. In front of us is Niger, and then you have Algeria, and then it goes on. Then from there, Morocco on the other side, Tunisia. But if you're going through that Algeria, then you get into Europe. That's the easiest. It's faster to get into Europe that way. Now that Niger is saying that we can't fly over them, so probably what we would now have to do, we now have to either follow and go through like Cameroon, and then go through Chad, Libya to go on, or come this other way and go through Benin Republic, enter a bit of Togo to enter Burkina Faso, Mali, Algeria, and above, or we enter Benin Republic, then we can squeeze our way through Burkina Faso, Mali, Algeria, and all of that. The other way, we can also go through Chad. Nigeria we could go through Chad, then Libya, and then through Tunisia and get. What this means is that, of course, the tickets are going to be almost unaffordable now. The prices have to increase because now you're flying longer distance for you to be able to get to Nigeria. Maybe something that was 3 kilometers before. I'm just saying 3 kilometers. Maybe now it's going to be like 3.5 or 4.5, depending on what route they are using. And so this definitely will end up also, affecting Nigerians. And this is just something that you look at and you're thinking, oh my goodness. You're just thinking, oh my goodness. 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 Ooh. This is really something. And then someone was saying that let the other states, let them also follow Niger lead, and then ban us from going through any of these. If Burkina Faso and Mali also close their airspace to Nigerian traffic, we either have to fly an extra 3,000 kilometers to Senegal or start relying on Chad. Do you want to start relying on Chad or fly this extra kilometer? Remember, these are states that had coup, and then Tinubu came with his braggadocio, just the way he does things. Very, if I say something now, they'll say, oh, you should be did. But such foolish things being done at the expense of every citizen, and they want us to be polite and be respectful to people who are not polite and respectful to the citizens of Nigeria. You understand? He came there and said, what's the difference between the coup that Tinubu did and the coup that they did in Niger and the other places where they had coup? And he's beefing them and all of that. And the next thing that he did was to cut off the electricity. Who does that? This is something that has been on for decades. And right now, of course, Nigeria has a joint agreement with Niger to provide electricity in exchange that the upstream neighbor will not obstruct the flow of water to the country's hydroelectric dams in Jebba, Kenji, Niger State. So they are upstream. If water is coming and they build their own dam, guess what will happen? The water is going to stay in their own dam. It's not going to reach us in Nigeria, right? And so because of that, there was an agreement to say, okay, you don't do a dam, don't do dam. We'll provide electricity for you. Then let us do the dam at our place. Let the water come to us. And then the next thing, of course, Tinubu had gone there because there was issue, there was coup in there. What did he do? Did he not also do a civilian coup? So what's wrong? Because they did their own military coup. To him, he didn't have the moral justification to actually speak on that coup. For me, coup, it's wrong in any way whatsoever. I would never support it. But Tinubu didn't have the moral justification because he also did the same thing. He also did a coup. The only thing was that he wasn't wearing a uniform, and then he stopped electricity and everything. These people are building their own dams already because they've seen how vulnerable they can be. And in building their own dams, what now affects our own Kenji, the water that is going to be coming in, how is it, how is it already coming in? And then the other day, I was even looking at it. I was like, okay, the flights that are coming to the flights are so expensive and all of that. Who knows? The international flight, they're already doing all of these things. That's why the flights are so expensive. Because I saw even where people were like 2 point something million to go to, is it Ivory Coast, to Cote d'Ivoire to go and watch the game. I'm like, it was supposed to be 1 hour 30 something, 1.5 hours or thereabout. Why is it this expensive? Even if you say Nigerian money, our dollar, our naira has fallen, but 2 point something is over $1,000 now. You're talking about almost 1,003 or 1,005 dollars. So why it didn't make sense? But hey, who knows whether all of these are already calculated. And then we have someone, a Twitter handle that said, I think most international flights coming into Nigeria already avoid Niger's airspace. The flight London to Abuja via BA flew through Morocco, Algeria, Burkina Faso, and Benin, then into Niger. They avoided Niger like a plague. Nobody wants to test the resolve of the Niger military. Before you know what's happening, they go and shoot one plane down, and then you start hearing history. The person who don't die. Whatever that is being done. There was quite a statement that someone made on Twitter where the person said that, Niger and Nigeria had like a very great relationship in terms, especially I always say, if not for the colonialists that sort of like messed up our continent, the northern part of Nigeria and Niger should have been together. They are closer together. They are brothers. They are cousins. Same language. Most of their language, same language, same culture, same thinking, same everything. But of course, France got here first. Britain got here first, and that was what led to us having a Nigeria and a Niger republic elsewhere. And there was this great relationships. Even when Buhari came, a lot of things. So they said that Buhari was buying vehicles and whatever for their people over there and stuff like that. You know, we were all talking about this thing. And then in less than a year, that relationship, we are now like arch enemies, as in enemies. So that tells you that what Tinubu cannot destroy, it doesn't exist. Let's get up, oh. Let's sit up, oh. Let's really sit up. I see this thing is getting to 10 minutes. I'll quickly round up now because I really don't want this to go on too long. But anyway, this is what we have here right now. We'll see how it goes. Sadly, this is what happens when you have bad government, especially people who rig their way into office. They come to destroy, nothing else.